PFAS. You may have seen this acronym in the news, on product labels, and even in Hollywood films. But what are PFAS? Why are they relevant now? And why should you know about them? It is time for a deep dive in this PFAS episode of Groundwater Explained. PFAS are compounds of molecules that have one remarkable characteristic. Their bonds are so strong that they are virtually unbreakable, which means they can repel both water and oil, resist high temperatures and acids, and are non-stick. This is exactly why they are used to produce our waterproof clothes, our shoes, fast food packaging, our non-stick pans, and also industrial pipes. Besides these examples, there are many more products in which they are used. But what if the PFAS don't end up in our products, but in our environment instead? And they do, unfortunately. One way they end up in the environment is from places where firefighting drills are done, because PFAS are one of the components of firefighting foam. For this reason, airports are a particular hotspot of PFAS contamination. Air travel safety rules oblige airports to perform firefighting drills on a regular basis, which comes at an environmental cost. Since certain pesticides and sludge contain PFAS as well, they can also leach in the groundwater below agricultural fields. Other common ways for PFAS to end up in our environment are through industrial sites, where PFAS-containing products are produced, or from landfills. There, PFAS leach through the soil into the groundwater. And to make matters worse, even if wastewater is being treated before being released, most treatment plants don't filter out PFAS. This means that it's still there when we use groundwater to drink and irrigate our crops. And that is a problem, because PFAS are called forever chemicals for a reason. The unbreakable character that made them so useful is the exact same that makes them so harmful. Because once they enter our body, they still don't break easily. And this has harrowing effects on human health. For example, this can cause breast, liver, and testicle cancer. And for pregnant women, it can cause delayed mammary gland development, increased blood pressure, and even increased miscarriage risk. Meanwhile, their children can face lower birth weight and reduced response to vaccines. And the problem is already widespread. Researchers have discovered PFAS in human blood, breast milk, wildlife, both mammals and fish, and tap water across the world. They were even found in the most remote areas, such as the Arctic. This makes you wonder, can this problem even be solved? Unfortunately, the answer isn't as straightforward as you may like to hear. Treating or remediating the water is an issue for PFAS. In theory it's possible. However, the science behind it is, like PFAS research in general, still in its infancy, and so expensive that it's simply not a viable option. This means that pollution prevention is key, but legislation that should prevent it is particularly challenging. There are thousands of different PFAS, which means that as soon as restrictions are passed for one particular compound, yet another type of PFAS is being introduced to the market, on which these previous restrictions don't apply. The result is a cat and mouse game, a game with our society and environment as clear losers. So take the lead yourself and be curious. How come my shoes don't get wet? Why does oil not leak through the fast food packaging? And do I really need to consume so much of it? You can inform yourself about what are the biggest PFAS hotspots and what are the companies producing PFAS. And speak out, because in the end, this problem is way too big and complex for individual consumers to solve.